Glasgow. We are here for what we're calling the Burrell Effect. This involves getting all of your curators, conservators and planners to spend most of their time and all of our money on curating and promoting and glorifying the collecting habit of a private individual at the expense of absolutely everything else. We should never forget that Glasgow was not Burrell's first or even second choice as the home for his collection. He tried to do a deal with the British government to get it housed in London, like the Wallace collection, operating as a national museum. He saw London as the centre of the art world, and really that's where it should have been. It was wartime and the British government had other priorities. He therefore offered it to London County Council, but it proved too expensive even for them. He'd already given parts of his collection to other institutions, Berwick-on-Tweed, Dundee, Kirkcaldy, Torquay and Ipswich. He really spread it around, and Glasgow was very much an afterthought as a place for the collection, and always a big disappointment for Burrell because the atmosphere was filthy from the heavy industry, some of which was his, of course. So remember, Glasgow accepted a huge commitment which other richer cities had declined. The Burrell Effect has meant that other museums and community facilities have had to be sacrificed to accommodate the requirements of the Burrell. In 1983, when Burrell first opened, the People's Palace, for example, was in a near ruinous condition and didn't manage to get a functional fire escape until 1990. 1983, the year the Burrell opened, Springburn Winter Gardens was closed through lack of maintenance, and to this day, private citizens are still trying to get it functional again. The gift of Springburn Public Park, Springburn Winter Gardens and Springburn Public Halls, as well as many paintings to the Glasgow Art Galleries by Hugh Reid of the North British Locomotive Works, was as great a gift to Glasgow as any other, but it's been largely let go, unlike Burrell's gift. The 1980s also saw the death of all the local or branch museums: Aikenhead House, Campbell House, Hag's Castle, Tolcross House and Rutherglen Museum. The building of the Burrell Museum was supposed to signal a reinvention of Glasgow. Culture had come to Glasgow, but it was the culture of capitalism, the culture you could source and purchase or acquire in other people's countries, countries who weren't in a position to protect their own cultural assets. That's why there's so much in the Burrell collection from the Far East and war-torn Europe. This kind of culture has to exclude a culture that challenges greed, self-aggrandisement and the exploitation of working people, that has pride in local manufacture, mutual aid, cooperation and social justice as our own culture in Glasgow does. Although Burrell was supposed to put Glasgow on the map, in 1983, it fell off the map, and in recent years, £68.25 million has had to be spent. Damaged by the COVID pandemic, 60 other Glasgow facilities were scheduled for complete closure or sell-off last year. All of the social history museums, think of that, all of the local history, all of Glasgow history, in People's Palace, Province Lordship and St Mungo's museums. They're closed. A number of community centres in the most deprived areas of the city, Easterhouse, Drumchapel, Ruckhill, Gorbals and Toll Cross, are closed. There was also a very concerted attack on libraries by people who think a pile of books and a couple of computers stuck in the corner of a sports centre is a good library substitute. Visit Springburn and you'll see the addition of a display case stuck in a corner substitutes for a museum service. It's really not good enough. Glasgow deserves better.